Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
If you build it, he will.
It's the Skinny on Sports Podcast with Aaron Cowk.
I throw balls far. You want good words? Data language.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Cowk with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
Good Garrison Financial Friday morning out there, Western Oklahoma. Welcome to the Skinny on Sports, right here on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. Glad to have you along for the next hour. We got all kinds of things to get into. I think we're finally going to make it to the Mel Kiper, Todd McShay 3-round mock draft. I think we've been promising that, or I've been promising that for, I don't know, 10 days now, maybe 7. Everybody's probably seen it by now. So we can get into that a little bit. NBA playoffs, what is the deal with kicking dudes in the junk? Why are NBA players so apt to do that? And how in the world do you not get thrown out of the game for kicking somebody there, but you get thrown out of the game for accidentally elbowing somebody there? I don't get it. Maybe that's the difference between Draymond Green and Joel Embiid and their histories.
I don't think I don't like somebody that much to kick somebody right there. It's a man code. You don't do it.
Are
right?
These guys not men? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Jeff?
To say
I mean, last night
they're lower than low. Come on, man. You don't do that.
Whoa.
What Embiid did was
words.
Egregious.
I didn't see it.
You don't do it.
It's right here. Here, come here. I got it right here.
Don't do it.
All right, here we go. This is what happened. This guy falls. Embiid falls. He steps over him. Whammo!
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That is intentionally kicking him right in the nether region. Anyhow, so he gets kicked. It doesn't get kicked out of the game. Harden kind of accidentally does his little swim move and hits a guy there and gets kicked out. I would be shocked if we don't hear a little something from the league about that. So the NBA playoffs going strong. Also, Jared, do you have any updates from high school softball and baseball?
Well, yes.
Some.
One.
Okay, I'll have to pull that up. I was hoping you did. I was really hoping you did a little bit more pre-show preparation than maybe I did.
It's a good thing that I come to the show.
I know. I was driving here
no.
going, oh, thank goodness it's Friday and Scott's going to be here. We'll fill a whole segment with him. That is the voice you hear is Scott Garrison. It is a Garrison Financial Friday.
Wait, 2.
Leedy Boys won.
Got
Arapahoe won twice in baseball. I'm looking it up. We can go through it.
Okay.
Because I've got it pulled up.
That's how you guys do your research. You just wait for people on the text line
This
to
is
tell
very-
you what happened in sports, and then you...
Hey,
We're very user dependent here on our text line. Yeah.
We're peeling back the curtain as we speak. Thanks a lot, Scott. You just ruined all of our secrets. I know the Leedy girls won, too, in softball. They won twice. But anyhow, it is Garrison Financial Friday. Scott is in the house. What's up, Scott?
Oh, just a whole lot of it. You know. Sun's shining. The wind's finally not blowing 1,000,000 miles an hour.
And rain in the forecast. So
Yeah, that's true, too.
I'll take it.
I have a feeling that about 1, 2, 3 o'clock or so, This place might be a ghost town with as nice as it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Is there anybody at this station that doesn't play golf?
Well, I mean, do you count what
Let
Jared
me
does
say
as
this.
playing golf?
Is there anybody at this station who doesn't go to the golf course?
I'm out. See ya.
You know what? I don't know if Philip plays golf. Drew, I don't think plays golf.
I don't think the Brewer boys do.
No,
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either. So outside of that, you know, I actually saw yesterday, I saw Alan Bradley driving around town. He just looked like a lost little puppy because Sean had his knees replaced. He was looking for somebody to play golf with
Didn't
him.
know what to do.
Yeah, hey, my buddy's not here. You know.
Man, that's poor timing on Sean's part. You got to do that in the fall.
Well, I mean, was there any doubt that Sean is going to have poor timing?
I mean, he doesn't know how to time a wick, that's for sure.
Oh, ouch. It's a good thing he doesn't listen to the show.
The one time he did, we were making fun of his hand.
Well, we just did it
I
again.
think
Yeah, I know. And he burst in here. Really, dude, my hand.
Oh, my goodness.
Wilson!
We give it to him because we know he could take it, right?
Yeah. Hey, before we get into what I brought, I'm going to let you.
Yeah, I mean, Western Oklahoma sports will look different with what happened last night. Unfortunately, a guy that's you see at games all the time, Mr. Ron Nagel, not with us anymore. Man, shout out to the family. I talked to Jory already. I haven't talked to Ricky yet, but it's sad day for Western Oklahoma sports because that's a guy that you just saw.
Yeah.
No matter if his kids were playing, no matter if Elk City was playing, you just saw him around at multiple sporting events throughout the year. So very, very sad. Very, very sad.
Generations of kids grew up on the bench at Nagel's Snappy Sack, man. Sitting up there, eating a hot dog with my dad, getting stuff all over my clothes so that we had to go home and change.
Yeah, no doubt. So, yeah, prayers to that family for sure.
Yeah.
It's a sad day around these parts, no doubt about it. What you got?
Okay, so I'm sure you guys saw.
Here you go. This is where I just got. It's the first place I rented a Nintendo game. Was it Nagel's Snappy Sack?
There you go. Remember when he got NBA Jams?
Oh yeah.
Like, people lined up to play that game in there.
Like the arcade?
The arcade game.
Oh,
yeah.
boy, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
great. Yeah, God knows how much money I spent on that game.
Oh yeah, you allow that awesome little building out to the side of their house be built.
Yeah.
Maybe purchase a whole extra lot there next to their house.
Oh, hey, so how about the quarterback salary that just came down the other day?
Ah, Jalen Hurts.
How about that?
How about it?
$200 million guaranteed
Unbelievable.
I've seen
for a
someone-
guy. Think about this. I thought when I saw it, I just got to thinking about Jalen Hurts. $200 million guaranteed for a guy that got benched at the halfway point of a national title game, and
By a freshman.
by a true freshman that walks into there, and then also a guy that nobody really wanted to play his second half of the season at OU.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wanted Spencer Rattler in there
Yep.
as a true freshman instead of Jalen Hurts, and now he's $200 million guaranteed, Richard.
Wow. It's incredible.
It's a great story.
So it is a great
And
story.
it was hard not to go as soon as you got that message on Monday, go, good for him.
Yeah.
Because of everything you said. You just felt good for that. That's just how that story. Hopefully it's not
Or is it?
ending, but what do you mean?
Or is it good?
Is it good?
I
Well,
think it's good.
it's-
I think
it's
it's good
good
if you're a
if you're-
Cowboys fan.
You
So
took the words
last
right out of my
year-
mouth.
Last year was a complete anomaly. And do you know why that is?
Why?
Last year is the first time in 11 years that a quarterback that was in the top 3 highest paid quarterbacks in the league, top 3 highest salary cap quarterbacks in the league, even got to the Super Bowl, let alone won.
Yes, Pat
Even
Mahomes.
got to the Super Bowl.
It's interesting you bring this up because when you say it, every time when the NFL regular season is over and the playoffs, like in between the last Sunday and when the playoffs start, you always see that stat of 4 of the top 5 highest paid quarterbacks didn't even make the playoffs.
Didn't make the playoffs.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So here you go. Now, we know what happened last year. Okay. 22, Ryan Tannehill, Mahomes, and Cousins going into that season. All right. Tannehill didn't make the playoffs. Cousins didn't make the playoffs. Did the Vikings make the playoffs right there at the end? I can't remember. That last game depended.
I don't think they did 2 years ago.
No, I'm talking about this.
Yeah,
this
they did last year. Oh, yeah, they were in the playoffs this year.
All right. 21 Super Bowl, Rams and Bengals. Okay, the 3 highest paid quarterbacks, Wilson, Cousins, Rodgers. 20 Super Bowl, Chiefs and Bucks. And remember, Mahomes wasn't getting paid anything at that point in time. 3 highest paid, Dak, Wilson, and Goff.
Yeah, and you're going to get back to like 2018 when Goff made it. He was making nothing.
He was making nothing. 19, Mahomes and Garofalo. And the top 3 were Stafford, Rodgers, and Cousins. And then in 18, it was Brady versus Goff, Patriots and Rams. And the top 3, how about Garofalo, Stafford, and Carr? I forgot that Garofalo made a ton of money when he first went over to the Niners. And they were terrible when he first got there and was making all that jack. They were bad. But, yeah, this guy went back 11 years. This article's from last year. I couldn't find one for this year. But, I mean, we know what happened this last year anyway. But this guy went back over the last decade and found all of that. And let me get, my gosh, here we go. I don't know. My technology's not working here. You know how that goes?
Yes, I do.
Very well aware.
Let's see. He goes all the way back to 2011 when Mark Sanchez was the league's highest paid quarterback ahead of Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. I also forgot that Mark Sanchez was the highest paid quarterback too. Yeah. No Super Bowl winning quarterback was among the top 3 highest paid quarterbacks in the preceding season. In fact, only one quarterback that even reached the Super Bowl in that time period fell into that category. So before last year, only one guy had even made it to the Super Bowl, let alone won it.
So this is super interesting. With the draft coming up, starting next Thursday, and the one thing that everybody assumes that you have to have is a quarterback, which I don't disagree with. But at the same time, how do you match those two things? Yeah, you need a quote-unquote franchise quarterback. Is it just the timing? I don't think it's coincidental with the timing, though.
No,
because
absolutely.
I think you see if you go back to Russell Wilson making the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 years or whatever it was, and then as soon as he got paid, what happened? Bye-bye Seahawks.
Yeah. There was a little guy at running back that people tend to forget about, and if you go back and watch Marshawn Lynch's highlights, I'll tell you right now how they won the Super Bowl, how they got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I can tell you how they lost it.
Yeah.
Not giving that monster the ball and letting Russell Wilson throw an interception from a foot away from the goal line.
Letting Russell cook, right?
Exactly.
Russell cooked them.
He
The
cooked
problem
them,
was
all right.
was the Seahawks.
He burned them, all right.
Yeah. But, I mean, look at what when Rodgers took the big payday, he crippled Green Bay for a decade.
It speaks also to the fact you mentioned 2 names, Brady and Manning, and Roethlisberger was in this boat as well. Guys that didn't take all that they could get.
Yep.
They understood it. And did you hear yesterday who is really considering doing that same thing? You're not going to like it. Joe Burrow.
Oh.
Already
that's been the
having
question.
the foresight
Yeah.
of, well, I can make enough without making it all and continue to have a good team.
But you know why he's doing that. He doesn't want to stay in Cincinnati. Who wants to live in Cincinnati?
Well,
Come on. Huh?
I don't think anybody would want to. But it sounds like he's going to take less.
He's an Ohio guy,
I
so
hope not. Oh, he is an Ohio guy.
Yeah, he's an Ohio guy.
Oh, I
he's
forgot about
used
that.
to it.
So maybe Joe Burrow is the answer to that question.
Yeah, maybe we'll break his leg next
I
year.
mean, Cincinnati's better than Cleveland, surely.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, Cleveland's.
Yeah, I'd rather be in Cincinnati.
Cleveland finished themselves for the next 5 years too with their quarterback contract.
There you go. I mean, it's funny because that's the first thing that teams rush to do.
And that's a guy. Did he even ever win a playoff game
Yes.
at Houston?
Yes, he won one.
Okay,
He won one playoff game and then had his team up 24-0 against the Chiefs.
that's right.
And the Chiefs came back and beat them. Heck,
Yep.
Chiefs came back and were ahead at halftime.
Yeah,
But all of his is guaranteed.
mm-hmm.
So it's with the draft
That's
coming.
weird that the Browns did something made a big personnel error. Isn't that strange?
They browned. Brown's going to
They
brown, right?
browned
Or
it.
that-
They brownsed it.
yeah.
Let me ask you this: of the quarterbacks in this draft, maybe like one of the other two, or it's Stroud versus Young. Which one, if you were the Carolina Panthers and were needed a quarterback, who would you take?
Did you ask this because I texted you?
I don't remember you texting me.
How would you? I would take an offensive lineman and tank the season.
Oh, to try to get Caleb Williams next year?
Yes,
I think
that's a once in a decade talent. If he pays off in the NFL is yet to be seen. But anybody watching the field, the last time there was a guy on the field that dominated the way that Caleb Williams can dominate a football game, he was at the University of Texas. And
Vince.
It didn't work out in the NFL, but I think that's because he didn't have the work ethic for it to work out in the NFL.
And he was actually sneaky good in the NFL. He just wasn't what he was in college.
Yeah,
with
that's
Vince.
true.
I mean, he got the Texas or the Titans to the playoffs a time or two.
Yeah.
I think that's what Houston's going to do. The more it sounds like more and more they're going to take Will Anderson, which in my opinion is the best player in the draft from Alabama, and not take a quarterback and run Davis Mills out there, lose about 14 again, and then be in perfect position. But then this time, surely they won't score a touchdown in the last second of the game in week 17 or 18, whatever it is, to win and keep themselves from the first. Just take a knee.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know how anybody that's wanting a quarterback can say that this year's class just doesn't look appetizing. But then again, we said that Jalen Hurts wasn't very appetizing and went in the second round, and what's his name up there at Baltimore that's trying to screw ball. And look at Baltimore, great personnel team, and they're saying, hey, we're not going to give you that kind of a contract.
They're sticking to their guns right now.
Yeah, they are. Well, it doesn't help that Jackson's been hurt plenty, and my gosh, I'm struggling with names today. The guy came off the bench, and he did just
Tyler
fine.
Huntley.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley did great. He did just fine.
That could be a sneaky team to move up next week with the Lamar Jackson trade. It's kind of died down, that talk, a little bit.
Yeah.
With OBJ signing there.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be a sneaky.
Yeah, and I mean, OBJ signing there doesn't really have anything to do with Lamar Jackson either.
I just basically took the money that they didn't offer Lamar by franchising him the way they franchised him. Pretty much. I mean,
there you go.
What about your Steelers? What do you want, or what do you expect?
I'm thankful that my Steelers are good at drafting. That's one good thing about being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan is that your team has always drafted well. One bad thing is you're never going to get very excited because you're never going to be in the top 8 of the draft,
right?
Ever. And they're not going to try to move up, and they're not going to finish poorly enough for the season to be up there. So, no, we'll see. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're talking about the safety from Missouri. As far as I'm concerned, draft linemen. Mm-hmm. Take them 1, 2, and 3. Draft linemen. We are, my gosh.
You start to hear, I don't think the Steelers are high enough to get the guy from Northwestern. that strong, whatever,
Yeah.
strong, whatever. He's the comparison there is Zach Martin. But the one guy I have seen in that range is Darnell Wright from Tennessee, the tackle, and not his comp as far as what he might be turned into, because it's hard to say this name, but the way he plays and the nasty streak that he has, he's compared favorably to the style of Trent Williams.
If you're getting compared to Trent Williams, you're pretty good. You're a pretty tough guy.
Yeah, that'd work out for the 17th pick in the draft.
That would be just fine.
Right. What you got going on down there at Garrison Financial?
Oh, we're just helping people work through some of their questions and some of their problems and some of their good blessings, and we're just working with people and helping them work around their risk aversion and talking about what's going on in the country right now and in the market, and looking to help people find answers.
Scott at SoonerWealth.com, 124 North Main Street here in Elk City. Stop by, give him a call, or shoot him an email, and he can hook you up.
Come on by.
With whatever you need. Thank you, Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
Have a wonderful week. Wait, before you go. One last question. Who are a couple guys you can't wait to see what they look like on the field tomorrow in the OU spring game?
Oh, the guy that I'm looking forward to the most next season. Now, I don't know. I used to go to the spring game all the time, and I was like, I don't know. When you can't hit, kind of takes something out of it. But Kanik is the guy that I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. He reminds me of a Rocky Kalmus. Is he athletic? Yeah, he's athletic, but he's got a mind for football, and he's just a linebacker. You can tell from watching him, even in the little that he played last year, that dude's
It's very raw.
Yeah, he's a linebacker.
And he had the attributes to be – you think he'd be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think about him. We had this question yesterday. I didn't even think about him. I don't think about the new guys that this recent recruiting class.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one, to look at guys that were there or that are already on the team. And that's a good answer, because Kanik is a Venables guy. He's not a Grinch guy, right?
Yep.
I want to see some of those year 2 Venable guys and see how they progress
how they developed.
in Venable. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Mm-hmm. And then the safety.
Peyton Bowen.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, enough.
Does it matter what a freshman does in the spring game, because is Venables going to play him anyway?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I don't know.
We have a promo running right now about the quarterbacks. And I do believe that it's important for Gabriel to be the quarterback for success of this team this year. But at the same time, the more I've thought about it, the more I think, wait a minute. 2 years ago, this is Lincoln's last year. That's a 9-4, 8-5 team that was turned into 11-2 by one guy.
Yeah.
By making that change. So
absolutely. Could
there be a point where Venables not desperate to save his job? I'm not saying that yet, but also thinks, you know what? This other guy can get us a couple more wins, and it's important to get a couple more wins going into the SEC next year.
And get him a lot more experience going into the SEC.
Rip the Band-Aid off and
go. Get a lot more experience before going into the SEC. Where, don't forget, in the SEC, you only get 2 warm-up games to the conference play, because then you get a Patsy in, what is it, week 9?
Yeah.
Every year you're going to play Southwest School for the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Isn't that awful?
I'm hoping that goes away.
I think it'll go away if they play 9 games.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think it'll go away with the 9-game conference slate.
Yep. If they do that.
Yeah.
Surely they will.
It sounded like it for the most part, but then all of a sudden you hear some rumblings of, well, we sure like that.
Yeah.
Week 12.
There's a guy down there at Alabama that really likes the Patsy.
Especially the week before having to go to LSU.
Especially the week before LSU.
Complain about it all we want. It's working for the SEC because now they are continually getting 2 teams in the playoff in this 4-team format. It's whatever they're doing, it's working. It sucks in November when you want to sit down on a Saturday afternoon, turn on CBS, and you see one of those.
You know,
I'm
still, to me personally, it's still up in the air. SEC, it's still up in the air because here's the thing. Okay, Nebraska has had 0 success since they went to the Big Ten. True. Nebraska completely lost their recruiting base when they went to the Big Ten. Lost it. No more games in Oklahoma and Texas. No more pipeline to Texas. Mm-hmm. And now they're going in and they're trying to recruit between Penn State, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. Good luck. So with Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC, I mean, Texas A&M and Missouri have been exactly what they were to the SEC as what they were to the Big 12. They might pull a season out of the blue sometime here or there, but basically Missouri was a bottom third-tier team, and A&M was, hey, we're just as good as you, but everybody knew they weren't just as good as,
right.
So I don't know.
But you know what the difference is?
What's that?
Cha-ching.
Well, A&M's got plenty of money.
Well, they're getting a lot more of it.
But that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I think they're fine with where they're at.
I'm happy to move to the SEC. I'm looking forward to the football that we're going to have. I'm saying that people are saying that Oklahoma's going to go down there and just get their tail stomped, and I don't think it's true. I mean, okay, Alabama and Georgia are really, really good, but other than that, LSU pulls out one season every 7 years. They pull out a season and win a national championship. I don't know, spend enough money. I don't know.
I think my final thought on that is what OU fans, as we clearly are, have to, and I've been doing this with myself, wrap our minds around is it's not going to be like it was with OU dominating the Big 12, winning, if not playing for or winning the Big 12 title year after year after year. It might have to be one, after the first, 5 or 7 or even 10 years of take the lumps. Hey, got a good season, had a chance right there. Because how many times have you seen like LSU, like you said, they can have a great year, or 3 or 4 mediocre 7-5 seasons, and then boom, have a great year.
Yeah.
Auburn's the same way. It happens.
But that's
That's not Oklahoma.
That's not Oklahoma.
It's not.
That's not the.
I know.
It's not.
And Alabama is Oklahoma's pedigree. Alabama, now they don't have 28 national titles or whatever it is that they claim.
Well, and here's another thing. A 10-2 or a 9-3 in the 12-game playoff gets you in the playoff in the SEC
Every time.
That's a little bit of a difference.
I mean,
that'll be opened up.
Oklahoma will beat Auburn 8 out of 10 times that they play them.
History says you're correct.
Yeah. They'll do the same thing with Ole Miss. I can't wait. Somebody's about to start blowing you up. Oklahoma will beat Ole Miss 8 out of the 10 times that they play them.
Hey, listen, don't rattle Mr. SEC's cage.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to watching a bunch of young guys mature next year in the XFL or whatever league we're playing in college football next year.
Dude. Yeah, on the text line, you're going to make that guy mad. Haven't got a text from him yet.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, hey, have a great weekend.
You betcha, man.
Hopefully we'll get some of this rain.
Yes. Scott Garrison Financial. It's a Garrison Financial Friday. We appreciate him stopping by. I'm not sure we're going to make it, Jared.
You get some allergies all of a sudden?
Well, I've been moving stuff out of our garage, packing it up to move, and it's stirred up some cobwebs that have been there for years.
Oh,
we'll be back.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
The Skinny on Sports.
We've got too far. There's too much to lose. We've got to keep our composure.
Welcome back. Garrison Financial Friday right here on the Skinny on Sports. Scott@SoonerWealth.com is his email address. 124 North Main. Stop by and let Scott help you with all of your financial needs, concerns. Shop the open market to bring you the best value on investments, life insurance. He does it all. Works with your accountants. I know that we just went through tax day on Wednesday.
It was tax day on Wednesday. That's right.
Tuesday, I guess, actually. Tuesday.
It was this week. So I get them in early, get them done.
Don't have to worry about what day it really is.
Hey, I found scores.
Okay.
If you want me to run them down.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just our Paragon schools, but if a listener knows any more, text it in. Baseball scores. These are all districts. Arapahoe Butler. This is a 3-team district. Arapahoe Butler defeated Thomas 7-3. Burns Flat Dill City 13-3. So looks like Thomas beat Burns Flat Dill City. So Arapahoe Butler and Thomas will play today. Canute swept Cordell in the 2-team district 13-1, 13-0 yesterday. Hammond took care of Waynoka 12-2, 14-0. Hollis, also in a 3-team district, defeated Snyder 14-1. Geronimo 12-0. It's Hollis and Snyder today. Snyder beating Geronimo yesterday. Hollis and Snyder today for the district title. And Leedy, they played all their games in one day. They defeated Sharon Mutual 13-0. Tyrone 15-0, and then Sharon Mutual again 13.
Yeah, I wonder if that's.
Or do you think that was a double tie?
A double tie.
Okay, maybe it was. I didn't refer to the email. I went.
Yeah, I know. I didn't look at Darren's email either.
Sorry, Darren. I remember looking at it last night. Then I swiped it and deleted it. So, anyways, either way, how it happened, Leedy's the district champ. Softball, Arapahoe Butler beat Sealing twice, 10-2 and 10-9. Canute beat Fargo Gage Fort Supply 6-0 and 11-1. Hammond defeated Cimarron Aline Cleo 12-2, 14-0. Leedy Girls defeated Corn Bible Academy 13-1, 15-0. And Merritt is the only team really in our Paragon network that season has come to an end. They fell to Dibble twice, 7-4 and 12-7. So that's what I got there.
Yeah,
that was quickly me getting all this together.
Just some other Sentinel won twice on the baseball side, 12-0 and 14-1 against Corn Bible and Sweetwater. I don't see another score from there. Let me go up here to Corn Bible just to get an idea of who they may play.
Looks like Canute and Sentinel are going to play Monday, a little warm-up game.
Are they?
That'll be a good matchup.
Granite won twice, beat Tipton and Mountain View Gotebo. Thought I saw Mountain View Gotebo playing twice here. No, just the once. So a lot of the teams you expected to win did win yesterday.
Saw Coach Varnell yesterday. Told him when he gets you on the show.
What did he say?
He looked like he had other things on his mind, like maybe coaching a baseball team, but maybe he takes care next weekend. We will.
That's right. No doubt about it. So that's high school sports. Big Elks and Elkettes won yesterday on the golf course. Congrats to Brett Barnett. A season low 76 for the Elkettes at El Reno. They won by 40-something shots, 42 shots as a team. She won by 10 individually. Let's see, they had 4 in the top 10 on the girls' side with Campbell Rainey, Jaden Manning, and also Cam Edney were all in the top 10. Then the boys went to Clinton, shot I think season low 300. 4 of the top 5 individually were from Elk City. Nate with a 71 won Nathan Womack. Mason Schmidt was second with a 73. Tristan Dunn was fourth with the 76. And Braden Duncan was fifth with the 78. So really good day on the golf course for the brown and white yesterday. So congrats to them. Girls Regional next week here at Elk City. Then state tournaments are at Weatherford. I think is girls regional here? Yeah, the girls is, boys isn't it? Pretty sure. But both state tournaments at Weatherford. Coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So good stuff there on the golf course. All right, Jared, I asked Scott this question. I'm going to ask you. If you're the Carolina Panthers, what do you do with the number 1 overall pick?
I never thought of it like, what, take a lineman, not a skill player, take a lineman. I don't know, there's rules against it, but don't tank. But, take what you got and get through next season, hopefully get the number 1 pick next year and go all in for Caleb Williams. I never, I'm not a GM. I always look at the immediate. What are the immediate needs? Who's available, all that. But I never thought, okay, next year, this guy will be there. So if we take this guy, it could set us up to get that guy. Not just Caleb Williams. I've never thought of it like that. So I think I'm with you. I would go with the conservative pick. Is that a fair word to use right there with getting a lineman? What would you do?
The one positive in the NFL versus what we've seen in the NBA is you can guarantee yourself the number 1 overall pick by having the worst record. There's no lottery.
Yeah, right.
I mean, in the NFL, if you have the worst record, you do get that pick. So you're not leaving it up to chance in the way that you do with the NBA and in the way that draft lottery works. But the problem is the way the NFL is structured, it's hard to be that bad year after year after year because it's set up for parity. It's set up to see teams go from worst to first in their division because they play an easier schedule. They obviously get a higher draft pick, what that can mean for the next season. So on one hand, yes, you can guarantee that if you do have the worst record. On the other hand, it's hard to have the worst record again just because of the way the league is structured. I don't think they're going to do that because it feels like that never happens. And so then the choice is Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. For me, I take C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Young is slight. He does seem to have those intangibles that you want, but I just can't shake it out. And I know Young has had good games against good teams, but man, the last time we saw C.J. Stroud was when he was just lighting up that Georgia defense. That was so vaunted over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And the way that the throws he was making, anticipatory throws, throwing guys open, is what you have to do in the NFL. And he was doing it against a team that is full of NFL-type guys. Now, he was also throwing to NFL-type guys on his side, no doubt about it, with that receiving core that he was at his disposal. But the last impression is awesome on the field. Now, you're starting to hear some different things about not waking up on time for the Manning Passing Academy. Whatever. We're into that last week before the first round where you're going to start hearing some crazy things, some true, some not, but just teams trying to keep others off the scent of what they want. But if it's me and I'm Carolina, I'm a C.J. Stroud guy. I take C.J. Stroud over Bryce Young.
Yeah, if it's between those two, I agree with you.
At number 2, Houston would seemingly have their choice of whoever Carolina doesn't pick. But here in the last couple of days, you're starting to hear rumblings of maybe they are going to go that route. Pick somebody this year so that they can halfway tank and be in position next year. They seem to be the team that might actually do that. Or there's also, I've read some things about maybe trading for Trey Lance. If the Niners have decided maybe that they're in the Brock Purdy business. That would be an interesting move for San Francisco to do that, depending on what they could pick it up. But Houston, I think, is going to be – I think that's where the intrigue starts. I didn't think that a couple of days ago, but now I do. I think Houston really might not take a quarterback.
Yeah.
Even though they seem to need one really bad.
Right, and they do. And the thing about a team that is where they're at in this draft right now, as high as they are, like Houston, fine example. If there might be some worry with GMs and ownership, is, man, how will fans react? Who cares? They've been losing. They've lost so many. Having this season that they just had. Fans should be used to it. They can be used to it for one more year if we just take that safe pick, not take a quarterback, and do, like I said earlier, what was intriguing with Carolina's options. I think there's always that. I think there is some of that comes into play. Not a lot, but thinking, this might hurt us in our pocketbook because people aren't going to come and watch this team. You got your owners probably putting pressure on GMs.
But does that ever really happen?
Yeah, people still are going to show up. Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like it does in the NFL. Yeah. Let me ask you this. With talking about the possibility of neither one of these teams actually taking a quarterback, but the likelihood it still probably is. Arizona's at 3. They don't need a quarterback because they've already paid theirs in Kyler Murray. So there's the possibility of moving and for a team that maybe needs one of these quarterbacks and it's intrigued by Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. What do you think's do you think the likelihood of one of the first two teams not taking a quarterback, you think that's higher or lower than the first the first 4 picks in the draft all being quarterbacks? Which one of those things do you think is more likely? Houston or Carolina not taking one of the top 2, or somebody trading up?
Both of them not taking.
No, just one of them.
Just one of them.
Just one of them not taking one of the top 2 quarterbacks. You think that's more likely, or that the first 4 picks are quarterbacks because Arizona moves out?
I think the first scenario is more likely.
One of those 2 not taking a quarterback?
Yeah, I think that's actually a thing.
Yeah, see, I don't. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. Maybe trying to entice somebody to give them a king's ransom. If it's, I don't know, Seattle. But if you're Seattle, you're in a spot to where unless you get convinced one of those 2 teams isn't going to draft a quarterback at the top, you're in a spot at 5 where you're going to get Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. And I think that's a pretty good spot to be. And you probably don't care which one it is. I mean, there's a preference, I'm sure. But at the same time, I think you're okay with either one of them with the way that the board looks like it's going. And there might be even possibility, depending on a trade there at 3, where you might have your choice of both. So that doesn't really make sense for them to panic. Maybe Detroit, but, they seem to kind of be on their way. I just wonder if this is a way to try to get, let's say like Houston actually does like Will Levis, but they don't like him at 2. Well, and somebody wants one of those defenders. Is that a way to try to entice a team to move up, and you move down to wherever, say the Bears or Falcons or whatever it is, to where you still feel comfortable that one of those guys will be there? And then, of course, that changes everything for everybody. If Detroit's sitting there and they think they got to take Tyree Wilson from Tech, but something happens with the top 4 At 5, the Seahawks get to take Will Anderson. All of a sudden, wait a minute, Tyree Wilson, thanks, but no thanks. We could have Jalen Carter. So that I think it's just I think it's mind games right now. All the stuff it's just impossible to figure out what's real and what's not.
No, it's perfect for what we do.
Oh, it's
we
great.
We get to guess all day long.
That's right. You've got Bijan at 10 to Philly. That scares me to death as a Cowboys fan.
Oh, yeah, me too. And every mock draft I've seen, not necessarily from, how many has McShay or how many has he put out? What is
2 or
this?
3.
Yeah. Anyways, kind of comprising them all, he just seems to be rising in each one. like these guys are convincing themselves, like, this guy is a guy that can be taken here.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of convincing themselves that somebody will take him, because when you look at like their rankings, like how they have them just ranked without need or without teams, most everybody has Bijan in the top 3 as far as just a player in the draft. But he's a running back, and how much does that matter? Or how much does that hurt him, I guess, is really the better way to say that. I have a hard time. I don't know. Part of me thinks he won't get past Philly, but then another part of me thinks Philly is going to draft the best player and maybe even the best defensive player that's available because of what they've lost here a little bit in the offseason with some guys leaving. But at the same time, outside of maybe those top 3 with Wilson, Anderson, and Jalen Carter, this draft does seem a little bit light on pass rush at the top. You know what I mean? And it feels like you've always got 3 or 4 guys, 4 or 5 sometimes even, in the top 10 of that are rushers. This one seems a little light on that. It's last year I think when we looked through there without the really big name quarterbacks at the top, it was a lot of defense that was mocked in the first round. This year it feels way more offensive. It's at least in the first 15 picks or so. I saw one on yesterday. Do you think there's more of a likelihood that there are 0 first round running backs or 2?
Well, I think the obvious answer is only going to be 1. We just talked about him. But we all hate to see running backs taken in the first round, so I want to answer 0. Because you would think that the GMs nowadays think, no, you can't waste money on a guy in the first round that has a really short shelf life. But then on the other hand, you could look at, there's these teams, like Cowboys, for instance, if they're looking, they just they got a need more or less at running back. And if Robinson's there, like, oh, hey, let's do it. That would be a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation for Dallas. Because let's pretend Robinson's there. Like I said, they have that need because Zeke is gone.
And you're not sure, even though you franchised him, you're not 100% sure about Pollard and that injury.
Right. And then you go, wait a minute. The rule now is you don't take a running back in the first round. We can find somebody in later rounds. And then you pass on him. And then Robinson turns into a superstar for somebody else. And everyone's going to go, look, Jerry did it again. He missed on a guy. Should have got him. He had a chance to get him. But then if he takes him, oh, look, Jerry did it again. He drafted a first-round running back. This is Ezekiel Elliott all over again.
It's a lot different drafting one at 26 than it is at 4.
Well, of course. Still, first round's a first round.
Yeah, but it's not either. I mean, it's way less money this late. But the problem is, to me, at the end of the first round, we saw this happen with the Chiefs taking Edwards-Helaire a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's almost a luxury pick and not a smart pick. The Cowboys aren't in the situation that Philly is, in that even though Philly lost a couple of those defensive guys, they also have 2 first-round picks here that they can supplement them back, or at least one of them they can supplement somebody back, and then go, okay, is Bijan the difference in winning a Super Bowl and getting there? Does he take us over they their roster is strong enough to where you almost get it for them because it feels like he might be the difference maker and actually winning the thing. Cowboys aren't that way. Cowboys have more holes than just, hey, let's plug a running back in here to maybe be the difference in winning a title. You got to win a playoff game or two first. Got to get to the NFC title game first before you really feel like your roster is in that good a shape just to use one on a running back. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And this guy is the first pick of the second round. If he's there, I'm going to be mad. I don't care what they've got. Brian Branch from Alabama, the safety / cornerback, just Swiss Army knife. Every time I watched Alabama, 13 flew on the screen. 14, can't remember his number. He's the first pick of the second round to the Steelers. I want that dude. Just the same way a lot of people wanted Jalen Ramsey instead of Zeke Elliott back years ago. And both of those guys turned out to be really good players for a little bit. But Ramsey's still a pretty good player, and Zeke has fallen off the map. Tight ends. This one has the tight ends kind of gone. At least the couple that we had seen earlier mocked there. Michael Mayer and also Kincaid. Both of those gone in this one for the Cowboys. We'll be back.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
The Skinny on Sport.
Yeah! Coming on, yeah!
Welcome back, Skinny on Sports, on a Garrison Financial Friday, right here, 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. Okay, Jared, will Oklahoma have a first-round pick?
I will say no. Their highest projected pick is
this one actually has Anton Harrison way further down than most. You see into the Steelers at 49. I've actually seen him at that first pick of the second round of the Steelers at 32. I've seen him in the first round in some different mock drafts, but it feels like as we're getting closer, he's kind of falling out of favor in the first round. We'll see. I mean, it just takes, one team to like him. But I would go with no myself right now. I think you're probably going to see 2 in the second round. If you're Marvin Mims and you're looking at this mock draft, you are crying happy tears because they have Mims going with the last pick in the second round to Kansas City. I mean, talk about a dream scenario. I can't possibly think of a better place for a receiver to go than to go play with Pat Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
He
has the speed that I think kind of fits well. I mean, he'd almost – now, listen, he's not going to be a Tyreek Hill, but he posted some impressive speeds at the Combine. I think maybe that's going to attract some people. He could be a speedster guy that kind of fit that mold just a little bit, and maybe that's what Kansas City might be looking for. It's not like they need to replace Tyreek Hill. That's clear. After this last season, but it might be Patrick going, I like this guy. He reminds me of somebody. But yeah, that'd be a good get if he can land in Kansas City.
Yeah, you got to be if you're Marvin Mims. I'd imagine you're loving every second of what of what this has. Are you going? Or what do you got going on this weekend?
Nothing big planned. Just gonna continue my little project in the barn. That's all I really have planned.
Hopefully, you need to be inside come late afternoon, early evening on Sunday.
I might be in a batting barn on Sunday. We're supposed to have field practice, but I'm doubting that happens.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, we need it. We were in the barn on Wednesday.
I mean, the forecast I'm looking at says showers likely Sunday 8 to 2.
8A to 2P?
Yes, 70%. High of 48.
Well, I will firmly go on record to say I'm not going to complain about the rain.
So the National Weather Service, we got Sunday night after 2 so early Sunday or Saturday night, early Sunday morning, 40% after 2 a.m. Sunday morning, which goes up to 80% or 70% between 8 and 2, 50% Sunday night, 80% on Monday, 80% on Tuesday, 70% on Wednesday.
You know, our on our sister station, Exploring Energy, it's on before us. Butch Black said that that one of the co-hosts that he's hearing more and more talk from meteorologists of a long-range forecast for western Oklahoma, and long range has a lot of rain in it.
That'd be nice.
I mean, I'm crossing my fingers as I say that. You know, hopefully that's a thing. I'd much rather have softball and baseball games postponed or canceled due to rain and not because of a lack of an umpire or something.
Yeah, and it seems like for the showers likely, possibly it says possibly a thunderstorm. So that, to me, with those temperatures being in the 50s, the high-end severe weather that we saw Wednesday night, maybe that's not as possible just because of the conditions. Oh yeah, there'd be nothing better than for it set in here and rain for a couple of days, and that slow soaking rain. It'd be nice, no doubts about it. It would be nice. All right, that'll do it for the week. Thank you to Scott Garrison, Garrison Financial. This is a Garrison Financial Friday.
Well, you got any baseball or anything going on?
Yeah, we got baseball. I was just sitting here thinking, gosh, 48 and raining on Sunday.
Hey.
No thanks.
You got one of those little igloo things.
Yeah, we don't.
Tents or whatever they're called.
I have to do the sound at church, so maybe that gets me out of a game or two. Everybody have a great weekend.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.
That ball is blistered to right. Way back. Goodbye.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.